podcast.
Brain Candy Podcast, episode 844. You know what I was just thinking about? Is that this, what? I mean, maybe to other people it's like, yeah, Suze, what? But when I realized that, okay, so remember we smoked pot on episode 420?
Yes.
Well, we've doubled that. We are now in the 840s.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that we have done the same number of episodes since then that we had done before then. Do you know what I'm saying?
Ah, I see.
Like,
which one do you feel like is more since then?
Before.
What? I do not.
Oh, why?
I feel, you know what? Maybe
that feels like ages ago?
I think it's the amount of changes that have happened to each of us in between those times. For fucking sure. You moved to a different state. You got a kid that you've seen grow up. Like that. Yeah. That makes sense.
Wait, but so you saying that would mean what? Because I feel like that was a minute ago.
That the time before that, I think you experienced. Oh, actually?
Oh, because I did both of those things before and after.
Right.
But I feel like COVID has been a time warp.
Yes, for sure.
That there were like 3 years that were just like a wash.
It does kind of feel like that could have been. The only reason why it doesn't feel like yesterday.
Yeah.
Because when I think about it, in that way it does, but my mind knows where we did it and knows how many places I've lived since that.
That's
so
true.
that's where it's like, you've lived 7 places since then. That was a while ago.
Okay.
And then before, I was just in one place the whole time.
That's true. It makes sense.
I didn't move.
Okay.
So I know that's why it feels like that to me.
Yeah. I don't know. Just the idea of.
It sounds kind of like you want to do some weed. Do some drugs. Smoke some weed.
What I'm mad about is that I still feel like I do not. This is what I said in episode 420, which is that I do not understand the mechanics of the marijuana, of the Wacky Tobacky. Like, I do not understand how, or even a cigarette. I don't know how you smoke and get it inside. I'm like Bill Clinton over here.
Yeah, because your body's probably like, don't inhale.
Yeah, Jesus is like still in there.
Because I remember that. I remember when I was living in England, and it was the first time that somebody was trying to get me stoned.
Yeah.
And I can remember these. It was the French poet that I hooked up with.
Ugh.
And he
you have a real
was
thing
like,
for French guys.
I do. I definitely do.
Interesting.
Yeah. I love French guys. Also, now I'm thinking of French fries.
Okay, so the French guy tried to get you stoned.
Yes. Sounds like I am stoned. Okay, French guy tried to get me stoned, and he kept saying, like, no, you have to inhale. I couldn't understand the inhale because
Swallow
it really did feel like there was a mechanism or something that was preventing me from inhaling like that. In the same way that when you swallow, it goes down one pipe and not the other, or whatever. It feels like your body's controlling that until you override those mechanisms.
How do you do that?
How to do that? I think maybe by accident at first, and then with a lot of coughing.
Yeah, the coughing is really an impediment.
And then afterwards, you just don't cough anymore.
Really?
Except sometimes. Maybe.
Wait, why don't you cough forever?
I mean, you do if it like is irritating enough. I think maybe you just. Okay, here's what it is. I think that you become familiar with the sensation, so you don't fight it or resist it or freak out by it.
Yeah, it's not disturbing.
You know? It's why I can't do mushrooms or any other like hallucinate. I can't do anything like that because it's too scary. I'm like, no, I'm panicking. People are like, just relax, dude. No, I can't do it. I can't. I'm not going to do it. It's too much. I can't get over that hump of like letting go or whatever. No, I'm not going to do it. And I think it's a little bit of that. And if you're not going to let go and just like, oh, this is just how it feels, and accept that's not, you know, I don't know, maybe like certain body sensations that come with like doing mushrooms. I'm like, no, this is weird. This is a problem. And other people are like, ooh, yay, that's that good feeling that is coming with this high or whatever, you know?
Yeah. All right. I'll work on it.
You don't need to work on it if you don't want to. And plus, I think there's no reason why you should be damaging your lungs and doing anything like that when you can just have edibles and pop a gummy, have a
do
CBD
love
thing that
that.
just like lets you chill out without any of the head high. Like what?
It just would be nice to have the option.
Yeah, to not look like a total dweeb when somebody passes you a joint at a concert.
Literally, no one has ever.
I can't believe that. Susie, you look cooler. What is wrong with you?
Honestly, I think about
Why
this
are
a
you
lot.
such a square?
Like, I'm embarrassed.
I would be embarrassed by that too. We got to help you out.
Or maybe
What
I'm
are you
hanging out.
doing that is saying when you're at a concert that's saying I don't want?
Okay.
Are
I
you
think,
calling it the drugs or something?
what if I'm like, does anyone here have a doobie?
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. When you say things like I pass on grass, they're like, oh, don't just give it to the narc down there.
It's not that. I think that it might be the concerts I go to.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think that's problem number one.
I don't know. That's not true. Your ZZ Top buddy was definitely
Oh my
passing
God,
over them
that
dubes.
is so true.
So, come on.
ZZ Top, buddy. You're right. All right. I think
Jim?
I just need a little
Joe?
bit. Jim, I just
Jim.
need a little bit more resolve. I'll work on it.
Yeah. Or just
Thanks
stick
for
to the
your
edibles.
advice. Oh, believe me, I'm doing that every night.
Yeah, there you go.
I welcome the feeling. I just don't know how to smoke.
Yeah, because that's a different feeling, but on your lungs. That's like, you know.
Yeah.
And I always cough if I go a little while with that. Like, you know, when I go to camp and haven't smoked and
You just
Yeah.
muscle through it, though.
no, you're just like, and then, you know, I guess muscle through it, but
Thanks for all your tips.
you know, just it's legal. It's like if I were giving you tips on how to enjoy wine.
wine, yeah.
Right? Isn't it?
Just like
At least in my state, it is.
Aerate.
It's fine. And the interest does die down when things are not illegal and allowed.
Really?
I think so. For
Once
me,
it's
yeah.
legal, you're like, what's the fun?
Not like that, but it
Interesting,
was just
Sarah.
like it's not like what's the fun? It just is in the same way a glass of wine. You know, I feel
It's
I don't have
not
to like
exciting.
go crazy. You know, I'm not like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm never going to have this glass of wine again, or I've never got. You know, it's like, oh, I'll just have a little hit of the joint, and then that's it. I don't know.
How do you know which name to call it? Like in a
I don't know.
circumstance? What do you you know how we went through the list of like the names people call it, like the
Yeah.
devil's lettuce
Yes, I've never
Wacky
called it
tobacco.
that.
and wacky tobacco and
Also, never,
ganja,
never.
herb.
I mean, if I'm
Maybe.
like speaking in code, I don't know. I probably like pot.
Oh,
Is-
pot. Like if you're
yeah.
at a concert, you'd be like, do you have any pot?
No, I'd be like, where the weed at? Who's got
Where?
the weed?
The weed
No,
at?
I wouldn't. I was just kidding. I mean, like, you know, I'd just be like, who's got the weed?
Uh-huh.
But I probably wouldn't be asking because I do not believe. I know this is crazy, or maybe not. I am not a fan of sharing with strangers. I do not want to put my lips on anything that I can remember. Once I was in Finland with my ex-husband,
Yeah.
and we were in some area, some park where you could like buy weed. And we had rolled up a joint and we were like listening to a live band and walking through this art gallery. And there was a guy who was like, definitely looked like he had been living outdoors for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
And my ex passed that joint to him.
Oh, no.
And I was like, you have got to be fucking kidding me right now. If you think I'm going to smoke out of that again, I'm just not. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do with the weirdo skateboard guy who's like living in the bushes.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think no.
Because you don't want to get herpes?
I can't. Susie, I think that it is, I just don't want to share like that. I don't want any of the germs. I don't want our mouths to be touching like that.
Wow. So
So-
disciplined.
You know, that's
Honestly,
where
I feel
don't-
that way.
I pass on the grass if somebody else is passing me the grass.
Stop using my phrase.
I'll bring my own. Thank you very much. It's a BYOW situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, to each their own. Like,
Yeah. Come on.
you You bring your own stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't trust other people's. What if there's weird shit in it? No.
Oh, well, but this one was that was your pot.
Yes. And I shouldn't have shared. Anyways.
Okay.
Do you have things to share?
Not really.
No, I mean, it's just usually the time in the episode where usually you have
I'm trying to think. I really don't. I take that back. I do have something. And that is my affection for eternity towards Factor meals.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to Factor for keeping me alive.
Shout out
for
to Factor.
The first 3 months that I lived at my new house.
Yeah, that was a lifesaver.
It really is. Because, sometimes you don't have the energy to even make the meal.
No, thank you.
Even if it's simple. I just need it to be super healthy.
Yeah.
And to taste fantastic and to be done in 2 seconds. Is that so much to ask?
No, evidently, it sounds like too much, but evidently it's not because Factor's done it. These meals are never frozen. They're delivered to your door, and then they're ready to eat in freaking 2 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. I can taste right now the cauliflower, like mashed potatoes. There is...
Creamy.
Yes. How do they make something taste so creamy and cheesy
like
and delicious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
it's
did
so
it.
good.
They have filet mignon, shrimp, blackened salmon. This isn't your mom's sort of ready to go meals. These are the real deal. They have Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and they're yummy as heck and so convenient because sometimes, like Sarah said, you don't even want to cook.
No.
Head to factormeals.com/braincandy50 and use code braincandy50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code braincandy50 at factormeals.com/braincandy50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. There you go. I love you.
Oh.
We're still trying to work out whether we're going to see each other soon. We may not.
Yeah. What if I just got a ticket and showed up at your door?
I would I live for that shit.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, that would be like
Susie,
making my day.
I
would
shouldn't
die.
have even said anything.
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
What is not to? It probably is better because then I wouldn't stress about like, is my house clean
you
enough?
Wouldn't.
Do
I'd
I
just
have
be
enough?
like, surprise! I'm motherfucking here, bitch.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm just
that
would
would be so awesome.
That is so funny because that would be my worst nightmare.
Why though?
Because I would want to like get everything ready. I probably wouldn't have food. You always have food in your refrigerator and shit. I would have to go grocery shopping and not be eating like weird things. And
we could just DoorDash.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we could. See, that's a real friend.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't really care if it were you.
Are you telling me that if I just showed up at your house, it would make you upset?
It wouldn't make me upset. I would have this panic.
Oh my God.
Wave of panic.
That is
of
hilarious.
like, I don't even have a bottle of wine. I couldn't even pour you a glass of wine.
Okay, well that is a problem.
Right? See, you don't even, why would you even want to come over? Like I couldn't even offer you the basics of hospitality, not because I just don't have those on hand.
I think what I'll do is I'll ship like a bunch of wine to you and you keep it for if
you ever were to show up. Now, if you did that, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Let's snuggle in my bed. It'll be great.
All right, let's think about this. I like it. Okay.
Okay, but I do have some other factual stories, things like that to share with you. I will give you this story because I teased you with this 2 episodes ago.
Okay.
I was asking, speaking of wine, there you go, Suze.
Oh, yes.
I was asking you if you wanted to hear a story about high-performing women and their performance reviews. This was when I gave you the option between 2 stories.
What do you mean high-performing women?
Women in high-performing positions. Like high-performing, that's how the article worded it.
I don't know why.
So women in jobs that are high-performing jobs. They're also we would imagine these are like your managers, your anything that's a high
Leadership
level
role.
leadership role. Yes.
Okay.
So this is from Fortune magazine.
Okay. Do you have a
And-
subscription? Because they are real sticklers. Fortune. Maybe
You know
they
what?
do like one
I
free.
think I got it through my library.
Oh, great. Good for you.
My library has a surprising amount of subscriptions that my old library did not.
Well, that is lucky because that is one of those ones where I'm like, I'll pay for it, but I'm mad about it.
Yeah, got this one.
Okay.
So it was comparing the feedback, the negative and positive, the feedback that individuals received in these leadership positions. 76% of women in these positions received negative feedback compared to only 2% of males. 2%, Susie. 2 to 76. So they analyzed performance reviews of 23,000 workers in 250 different organizations. And those were the results. That looking
That's horrifying.
at the performing the negative feedback that they received, that was the difference. The data analyst said that it largely has to do with the manager's unconscious bias, and women are judged more critically, and it's often personal.
Wow. I don't know it's so frustrating because I don't know how to remedy it.
I don't
I
either.
guess more women that are the ones doing the reviews.
Yes. Or more of a balance in, oh, God. You know what? I think it is. I think it's more women in high power. I think this is an argument for why we need like a female president and why representation matters.
Yeah.
Because then we become there will be women in those roles of leadership, so it looks like, I don't know, it's more normalized.
Yeah, because that's the only remedy is to have more women in those positions in the first place. Because this is a problem in academia because believe it or not, even though they prioritize publications and research, they do care about student reviews.
Yeah.
But student reviews are notoriously difficult on women professors.
I bet it's the same
Yeah.
story that we're getting here.
Right.
They said 88% of those 76% who received the negative feedback, 88% of those women received feedback on their personalities.
Fuck you.
And it was only 12% of the males who received feedback about their personalities.
That is so...
Men mostly received feedback about their work and about their actual performance.
I hate them.
Right? And when you look at the positive reports showed that it was usually about a woman's demeanor or personality or disposition. So even the positive reviews
I'm surprised
never
it's not-
gave credit for the work.
I'm surprised it's not mostly about their looks.
Well, I think that may fall into that category. Wow. I think it might be somebody going, "Oh, she's got a great personality," when they really mean tits. Because that's what they're saying. She's got a great personality is often she makes me feel better about myself when I'm around her.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not a woman's job to make these men feel fucking better about themselves.
I had this guy that was supposed to be my agent, and he would always say he and I had great chemistry. We did not. What he was experiencing was charisma and charm directed at him.
Right.
And thought it was chemistry. But then didn't think I was going to succeed in the industry, in the entertainment industry. Like he just thought it was directed at him. He didn't know that this is how I can make everyone feel.
Right. What a dummy.
I'm
So sorry you had that.
This is every
lame
woman,
ass.
I feel like, in Hollywood. It's just this feeling of like, this fucking idiot thinks I like him, instead of realizing this is why America would like me.
Right.
You
right.
know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that I don't know if it was a study, but it was a program that was started, or I guess whatever you want to call it, at a grocery store, where the cashiers would say, like, "Have a nice day" afterwards to all of the customers. Wasn't a problem except for female cashiers saying it to the male customers, because the male customers did not understand that that was just women being polite, and they would do things like wait in the parking lot for them, wait after their shifts, think that it was an invitation to flirt. They had to cancel that and said, now you say thanks for shopping at whatever instead, because they had to actually cancel this because of it. It was a danger to female employees.
Oh my God. Have a nice day. I can't believe that that simple of a difference would
it's
make
huge,
the difference between a dude being like, she's so into me.
Yeah.
Versus just like, she's doing her job.
It's a huge problem. It's like really gross, and it is really disgusting. And they do not know how to read signals. Yeah.
It's bonkers.
And I feel like that study just makes it really hard, highlights yet again why it's really, really hard for women in the workplace.
Yeah.
For so many reasons.
I hope it starts getting better, but I gotta say, I'm disheartened as of late.
They absolutely, and it also, the other thing that the article talked about was how the feedback that the working women got was about these unactionable items, things that you can't change.
It's like vibes.
Yeah. And that makes it so the review is not even accurate. It's all subjective.
Yeah.
And just however they're, like you said, vibes.
Well, and like, what is even the constructive criticism there? Like, your vibes were off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what do you want when it's unactionable feedback? It's not like you can say, we need you to get your sales up to this number, and then she can do something about that. This is, well, we just think that you're kind of a little bit, we don't like your disposition. Well, how would you like me to be instead? Well, I don't know, just like not like that. What?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. And where we would, if we got to talk about how we don't want men to be, nobody would be working.
It wouldn't be vibes. Yeah. Yeah. Because really what they're saying is like,
off.
You're just not a dude.
Yeah. That's exactly what they're saying. And so we need more women in those leadership positions, and we need men to get used to and familiar with looking up to women. I think that is the biggest problem that we have, is the disrespect. And I am never more disgusted than when I see clips of the Call of Duty, or where they can stream. These people stream.
Yeah,
them,
like Discord
live.
or
yes,
yeah, Twitch. Yeah.
Yes, the things that the male players say to female players, I can't believe the language.
Yeah.
Every now and then that'll pop up in my TikTok feed or in Instagram feed, a video, and I am just disgusted that language is so normalized.
Yeah. Link says he hears it all the time.
It makes it really dangerous to be a woman on any of these platforms. Oh, it's
Do you
so
know
scary.
what makes it great to be a woman or anyone that wears makeup? And that is Thrive Cosmetics.
Yes. And you know what? They're helping women.
They're helping women. They donate money to women's organizations and community building organizations. But listen, they're not scrimping on quality.
Oh my
These
gosh, it's the
products
best stuff.
are the best you can buy. I saw again in my magazine about beauty that like I get at my doctor's office, how Thrive was one of the best mascaras on the market, and it's $25.
It's so good.
And it
It's
changes
so
your whole freaking
frickin'
face.
Good. Yes, it does. This will change your mascara game. Just try it.
Try
You
it.
will love
Everyone
it.
says. In fact, I was just when I was getting my microneedling, my lady was like, "What is going on with your eyelashes?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you."
And don't you feel like because you're using something that isn't you're not having to work your eyelashes
Oh,
to
gosh,
get it
yeah.
off, that you can retain more and they seem just like healthier?
Yeah, because you know I was putting false
Yeah.
lashes on for
Yes, I
years,
do
like
know.
5 years, and now this creates the look of extensions with no clumping or flaking or smudging. It just looks beautiful. Refresh your everyday look with Thrive Cosmetics beauty that gives back. Right now, you'll get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/braincandy. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMITIC.com/Brain Candy for 20% off your first order. You can get that new Empower Matte Precision Lipstick Crayon. Those things stay put for 12 hours without feeling like all like dried out and crusty and cementy. It's so nice. They're really good. Brilliant eye brightener. Every product I have, their setting powder, their primer, their CC cream, setting spray. I could just go on and on. It's great.
Love that. Okay, what else do I have to share with you? This is interesting. Let me hear what you have to say on this.
Okay.
There is a new restaurant in St. Louis called Bliss that
Yeah.
is now open that has strict rules about who is allowed there.
Okay.
They say they have rules about age requirements.
Oh.
If you want to dine or visit this establishment after 7 p.m. on Wednesday through Sunday, you must be over 30 if you're a woman
Okay.
and over 35 if you're a man.
No.
How do we feel about this?
Wait a minute. Why are they different?
Well, I think because 30-year-old men are still fucking stupid.
Okay. So they're saying no dummies allowed.
Or they're saying no children, no, they don't like any of the behavior of the young people who are coming in there, the 20-year-olds.
Wow.
They're like,
What did they
no.
explain this policy?
Just that it's been popular. It's gotten a lot of attention, but it seems to be something that the over 30 crowd is enjoying. And
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad about it.
I
that's
am
for
not
sure.
mad about it either.
I mean,
It's interesting that places haven't done this. That they don't like
I guess,
it-
it just feels like,
age discrimination is a thing, right? You like can't discriminate based on certain things.
okay, but yeah,
But it feels
but
like the
can't, I
reverse.
don't think that's a protected class. I think you actually can. Because you know how certain groups,
Yeah.
they're protected. Race and religion and stuff, I don't think age is.
I think it is for jobs.
Let's
and
look it
stuff.
up.
Like age
but,
discrimination.
well, look it up.
It's race or gender. It's not
Yeah,
age.
see?
You are right.
Yeah. And this isn't great for me as I move into my golden years.
There was an Age Discrimination Act in 1975 that protects workers from
Yeah.
any type of different treatment based on age. But that is where it stops. So
Hey, fair game. Did you say
game.
they
That's
did
probably
explain
why.
it? They just said like no idiots.
Well, they
basically?
didn't say that. They just said because they were sick and tired of how the young crowd was acting.
Why are the young people acting like this?
I would imagine it's a lot of doing things for the gram, a lot of
Performative behaviors.
behavior.
Oh yeah.
And it feels like there would be less of that in the 35-year-old,
Yeah, we're tired.
super tired.
Right. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I wonder how it's faring in terms of business.
It's doing well. They said
No.
it has not hurt their business. And you have to have your ID checked by either
Make sure you're above 30.
by either one of the like employees or a St. Louis police officer. They have police officers there who are like checking IDs. So,
And men have to be 35.
yes.
I would love to know the average age of their clientele now, though, because like,
I bet 40.
and do you think that it's attractive mostly to women?
Yes, and I think if you get the over 40 or over 30-year-old women, then you then get the 40-year-old men who want to date them.
Well, yeah, 50, 60. I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. Wow, this is my kind of club. I could really, that's my time to shine
Yeah.
at a club like this.
Like that, it sounds great.
Get rid of like all the youngsters.
yeah,
I would really
just
have a leg
wear
up.
your socks with ankle socks and
My heels and no socks.
yeah. God, did you see that?
Okay.
That heels with socks are a thing?
No.
Suze, that
Gen Z is out of control.
out of control.
Get a hold of yourselves.
We do not need to be doing that.
They have
What
a
are we
real
doing?
sock obsession.
What are we doing? And then what are you going to do with that little line on the toe? You know that little seam?
Well, wait, are these peep toes or?
Well, some of them I think are.
Yeah, that is not attractive. I don't know.
And
what
the
they're
pointy
thinking.
toed ones, it's
No.
I can remember my mom was real into those when that was like a thing of the like late 90s. Those, oh my God, all of the fashion is back. And I'm going to I'm not
What are you resisting?
just who cares?
All fashion?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the good thing is people are like, wow, you're really trendy with your overalls, but I've just been wearing the same thing. It's like full
Right,
come
right.
back around.
Wow.
Yes. Okay, so that's my story about the new restaurant. This is also interesting.
Okay.
The Paralympics are starting, and
I'm excited.
I am very excited. It is just like Olympics Part 2.
Do they have a Paralympic water polo?
No, that would be so hard.
Well, I mean,
hard
it
regular.
depends on their disability, right?
Yeah, but maybe they would do it like inner tube water polo or something.
Oh, yeah. I love that. See?
Yeah.
Just modify, baby.
Modify it. Just
I'm
the same
still
way they
in.
do like sitting volleyball.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that. As long as there's
Yeah,
something
we
to keep
could
you
do that.
floating.
Sure.
That could be fun.
It would be really fun.
It would be real fun. You just need one
That'd
hand
be something I could
and
play.
an inner tube. The water polo club that I'm in has an inner tube league that just ended. They do it during the summer.
Your
Yes.
entire face.
It's the inner tube league. And
Can you imagine
they
if
do
I
it
signed up for
intro to
that?
water polo? And it's a way to like learn, and you spend all summer like playing, just having fun and playing games on the
See,
weekends.
that's
in your
where
inner
it's
tube
at,
league.
people. If
Yeah.
you're like, I can't do what Sarah's doing, I don't know how to tread water for 4 days. Good news. There's an inner tube
Inner
with your
tube
name
league.
on it.
Yes, that's right. You could probably bring whatever kind you want, whatever you want it to look like.
Is it
You know.
inner or inter tube? Is
Inner.
Oh, inner.
Actually, inner. 2 ends.
Okay. 2
Let's
ends.
look, though.
Inner tube because it's inside.
INNER. Yes.
Okay, that's a relief.
And 2 words.
2 words.
Wouldn't
no
have guessed
hyphen.
that.
Inner.
Oh,
tube.
wait.
Oh,
Wait.
wait a second.
Wait.
Hold it.
Okay. An inner tube is an inflatable torus that fits inside the casing of a pneumatic tire and provide structural support and suspension, like the inner tube of a tire.
Yeah. I knew that, but I still didn't know how you spelled it.
So, but I've always referred to those pool floaties as inner tubes, and technically those would not be inner tubes because they don't go inside anything.
Right.
They're
like
just
derivatives. They're outer tubes.
They're just tubes.
They're tubes, people. But we'll go. We can still call them that. It's like tradition.
Yeah, it's kind of like Xerox.
Yeah, Kleenex, that whole thing. It's not an inner tube, but it's an inner tube or a tube.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I could be in it. What if I joined the poor man's version of Sarah's water polo league? And then, like, had the best time ever.
Well, you mean the inner tube league? It's not the poor man's version. It's just the intro to water when you haven't yet mastered the treading water for 4 hours.
I will never master it.
And it would be so fun.
Before we started recording, I was asking you about your volleyball tournament with these water polo people. They invited Sarah, like they included her. It was a whole thing.
It was free to join, and everybody was invited. And it literally said that on the invitation. It was like open to all. So it wasn't like I got handed some special little, here you go, Sarah.
I really did feel like, oh my God, she's made it.
No, it was just like, come join.
Okay. Come on, come on.
Like
that's nice. Okay. So then I asked you, do you do bump set spike for these volleyball games, or do you just like freewheel it, you know, because it's cash? And you said bump set spike because like you were classically trained.
I'd just say that I started as a volleyball player before I even discovered water polo. So it's like, I was actually surprised. I'm like, oh, I did really well. I was like,
which of those is your move? Bump, set, or spike?
I would like to be a setter if I'm going to do anything.
Get out. That's the hardest one.
Yeah, but it feels the most in control. You just have to get under the ball, and then it's just like a nice little flick up. Yeah. And the bump it is, you're usually receiving a spike.
Yeah.
So that you have to be really ready and dive on the floor.
Yeah, but you can also be receiving a serve.
Yeah.
Which are easier.
I was good at that. I would give myself an 8 out of 10 for volleyball.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So fun. It was
I
was just the right amount of good to like play and have a really good time. And, you know,
I was the most improved player on my 7th grade volleyball team. I think we all know what that means.
See, that means you could be really good at the inner tube league. You
said it. I would be most improved on that too,
yes,
I think.
For sure. Guaranteed. Because you got heart. And that's what we're looking for.
And I would have a good time.
And that is the other thing that we're looking for. It was really fun when I played in like our little scrimmage we had on the weekends a couple weekends ago, and the coach gave the coach speech like, all right, guys, we're going to get out there. We're going to have fun. And I was like, I'm going to cry.
That's really nice, though.
This is so cute.
Because it does make you feel like you're a part of something.
Yes. Okay, but back to the Paralympics, because I did have an actual story.
All right. It's too much for
So
me.
Paralympics is starting.
Yeah.
And I did not know this, but back in 2016, there was a British swimmer named Joseph Craig who was disqualified from a Paralympics competition because they could see his tattoo of the Olympic rings.
Why?
The IPC
Everyone has
International.
Those now.
Well, I did not know this. So they are two very separate things. And technically, there's no formal relationship between the Olympic rings and the Paralympics. They have their own symbol that's called the Agitos or AGITOS. And it's these 3 colors, blue, green, and red. It doesn't look nearly as cool. I'm sorry. The Olympic rings are what we like think of as. And so many of these Paralympians have the Olympic rings.
Of course.
Of course they do.
What's the problem?
They say, well,
Who
the
cares?
IPC came out. The IPC are jerks about it. They came out and they said, I'm going to read you the exact quote because it's so annoying. But don't worry, I have good news that it's going to end with good news. The IPC spokesperson in 2016 said displaying the Olympic rings confuses the public and impacts the understanding about what the Paralympic brand impacts the understanding about the Paralympic brand, which is different to that of the Olympic one. I don't think it confuses anybody when we see the person who has one leg with the Olympic rings on and where he's competing. I don't like it. But luckily, they have just this year changed their ruling.
Hold on.
What?
Even if that were true, let's just say, oh yeah, we're all so confused about what Olympics this guy's in. Who the fuck cares? Like, why is it against the rules?
Who cares?
Right?
They said that it was the IPC considered them to be advertising for the Olympics.
So what?
And you're not allowed to advertise for another organization, and they considered it a separate organization.
That's really the stupidest thing I ever heard.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And there was another swimmer named Garcia Tolson who covered his with Sharpie in 2020, and then it washed away in the pool. And then at first they disqualified him, and then they went back and gave it to him because they fought for it. But now the new president or whoever's running the IPC, International Paralympic Committee, has gotten rid of the rule. They said, go ahead. We don't care anymore.
Hey, I have an idea, dipshits. Have the same logo.
Yeah, I don't see why it's a problem.
Why should they have a separate one?
I agree with that.
Maybe they could have two, like they're under the Olympics umbrella.
Paralympian who's like, yeah, I'd rather have this other logo that nobody's familiar with than the Olympic rings.
Absolutely not. Give them what fucking they deserve.
Right.
Which is equal treatment, which means all the Olympians get the tattoo. Yes. I want to get one just like, because it's funny. Yeah. Because there is a percentage of the population that would be like, oh my God, she's an Olympian.
They would all, 100% of the population who saw you with an Olympic rings tattoo would think that you at some point
did that interpretive dance one.
What could we say? No, you know what I would do? I would say dressage. I would go something horse, like you're going to do some rando horse thing. You're going to do like.
This is I almost want to do it just for the bit.
Yeah.
You have to stop me.
You could pull that off.
Because if it were real subtle,
and it would be real cute on you.
Where would you get it?
Undeserving. On your side, just like where you said, or on the ankle. It depends on what your sport is. It feels like it has to go with your sport. Well, I already did.
Dressage or whatever you said?
Like the horses that are jumping and doing the fun dances.
So would it be Olympic rings and then something about a horse?
That tells me that you're probably going to have it on your ankle.
Right here. Oh.
Where would a horse girl put a tattoo? Where would a horse girl put a tattoo?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think either side, you're on your ribs right here, on the side, kind of where your bra strap is.
Yeah. Or
on the foot.
They love a foot.
They would love a foot tattoo.
Let me ask you this, because I actually do want to get a tattoo. I want to get
okay. Yes, you have to talk. You can't just silent laugh.
I'm sorry. I wanted to get the God Only Knows musical notes, the actual.
God, I love that. Yes.
Yeah. But I don't want it to be super cheesy and annoying.
But you're but I was going to get it on my foot, and now that you said about it.
No, I was going to get it on my wrist.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any tattoos that I really can see.
Yeah. I love this.
Okay, well, what do you have tips on how to make it not annoying or cheesy?
Well, I mean, I think it's not going to be cheesy if you just get the notes. It's
Okay.
But I think that don't do a line. You know how they can do the line? What the hell do you call that?
Sheet music, like
sheet music
the signature.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you do it on your wrist and then you turn your wrist, that line isn't straight anymore.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who get wrist tattoos don't like that. Where they
my
get
God.
it to, when they're in a. You want to get whatever tattoo you get in the most neutral position, or like a position that you would have your body in.
Well, where should I pick then?
Well, I think the wrist is good, but I think doing notes on the wrist instead of the lines, because when
Without the lines, you don't know what notes they are.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Then if you're going to do that, maybe on somewhere where it would be straight, where you wouldn't draw a line on your wrist and watch what.
What if it goes this way on the wrist, like
That's
up
cool.
towards your shoulder?
Yeah,
Would
because
it-
like
it
watch if
still
I
would
like
move,
draw a
but-
line like that, and then I twist my arm.
It's still a line.
It's like, yeah, I think I saw one
It's
that
not
was
ideal, though.
like that. And
What
if
do you
you're, like,
think?
Trying to show
I
people,
can put it somewhere else, though.
It's like, like.
Oh.
So, I don't know. You know where let's see. Music notes. Well,
What
now
about
I'm
the
like,
back
your
of my
foot
neck?
sounds so. I love the back of your neck.
Okay, I just won't see it then.
Love the back of your neck for it.
Okay. Thanks.
Or right on your shoulder, like on
Ooh,
the
I would
back.
love that.
I love that. And then it's like God only knows, and it's like sitting on your shoulder, kind of like your little. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah, and like pick whichever shoulder you feel like you have, like this. You're like you're
Oh my
good
God.
energy
Sarah's
sitting on
like, I'm
your
in
shoulder.
church. Okay, thank you
Yeah,
so
right.
much.
Doesn't
for
it
your
feel?
help.
I think that's where you should get, and it's kind of like a pat on your back, like wherever you'd like pat yourself on the back, like that.
That's
It's
so
like-
nice.
Yeah, that's where you
Sarah.
should get it.
You're really good at this.
Yeah.
You should get some more.
That. What,
When's the
no.
last time you got one?
My chest,
What-
the center of my chest when I did
yeah.
that like
Sound bath.
ceremonious like ceremony tattoo and it was the hand tap one, and it was like 6 hours of hand done tap.
You can't show it right now, right?
I could. What am I wearing? A bra? Yeah, I could show that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that took 6 hours.
Oh, it took so long. It was just.
Do you love it though?
I love it. It's my favorite tattoo ever. I'm so
That's worth it
satisfied with
then.
it that I almost feel like I don't need another tattoo ever. That's how satisfying it is.
Huh.
Yeah. I
That's
feel
impressive.
like I don't need any more tattoos ever.
Oh my God.
And if I got anything else, it would be like an extension of that one more on my chest. And I just really like that there.
It is beautiful.
Center.
It was real
And nobody
painful though.
ever it was painful, but it was like I was in a trance. Because he was playing like chanting music. There it was like a ceremony. I was barely
It was a ritual
it was a ritual. And so it was very and we didn't stop. You just don't ever stop. Yeah, I went for a
Didn't
long
they
time.
need to use the bathroom at any point?
No,
It's a real marathon.
it really was. Like all of that, it was like make sure you go to the bathroom before, and maybe it was
They
like
said
4
that?
hours, but
For
maybe it
real, they
wasn't
said
6,
that?
But oh, for sure, yeah.
Oh my God. Like if you did have to go, they wouldn't
Well,
stop.
we would stop, of course. There'd be
They
no
prefer
problem.
not.
Stop, yeah. But like, you don't want to be sitting there and 5 seconds in, you're like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom, and there's like all this stuff on you, like a singing bowl and gold leaf and like, like ashes or whatever. Like you sprinkle some sage or what, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't consider that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want to.
All right. Thanks for your advice. I'm sorry I monopolized. Go ahead.
No, please, Susie. Okay, what else? Oh, this is kind of a sad thing to end on, but we're not going to end on it. I'll tell you one more afterwards.
Stop.
This was interesting. There's a man named Bernie Kraus, something like that. He is a soundscape recordist. So he is a sound artist who travels around the world recording sounds that they then use in TV shows, movies, whatever.
Yeah.
He lives in a place called Sugarloaf Park that's right outside of San Francisco. It's really beautiful, like, park area. And because of his job and his interest in sound, he loved recording what it sounded like in the park where he lived. So he would go to this old oak tree, and for 30 years, he lived in the same neighborhood, in the same area, and he recorded the sounds and didn't realize in doing that what he had actually done was create a time lapse of nature.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this is from The Guardian, and this was in 2003. This is a comparison from 2003 to 2023. Anyways,
Okay.
Let's hear some birds from 2003. Beautiful. We hear hooting owl. We hear a spotted towhee. I don't even know what that is. So you can hear that orange-crowed, they say it's an orange-crowned warbler in the background, the stream in the background, and now this is what it sounds like in 2023.
Oh, no.
Susie,
Oh,
that's
no.
really sad, isn't it? And
That is so
not only
sad.
are the animals gone, but the creek has since dried up. So so I went
Where'd
in
you say
and-
this
and
was?
This is in Sugarloaf Park that's right outside of San Francisco in Northern California.
Wow.
And so they talked about, one of the things that I was wondering and kind of asking myself as I was reading this article is, maybe something happened. Could we explain like why the birds went away? Is it that, we built a condominium or whatever right there and we destroyed their habitat or something? And it was on a park that was protected, but what did come through is a fire. And normally when fires come through, they burn in the past, they've burned at a lower temperature. So, one of the area that he went to record this was next to this big oak tree. And fires had come through in the past, but they were on a much smaller scale. And the temperature of the fire was lower. And when the temperature of the fire is lower, it does the job of clearing out the brush, but it doesn't disrupt the canopy of the tree. And it maintains the health of a lot of these large trees so that these trees survive fires. Well, this fire came through that was a different fire than that area had seen. And it was too hot. And it was, one of these electrical fires that just spread like wildfire. And it couldn't ever recover from the fire in the normal way that it would because the tree was dead and the creek dried up, and these things that normally brought life back now wiped it all out. And these naturescapes, he's noticing just how much of the noise has stopped in all these places that he's traveled, and what this really is saying about conservation efforts and the ecosystems, the animals. Like, it's sad.
Yeah, it's bad news. Dang.
I know. I'm going to put it in our newsletter. I've already emailed it to Dahlia because it was a really good read. It was in The Guardian, and it's not behind a paywall or anything, so you guys can read it. And it just is a good article to talk about a few things. I think it's a really beautiful article that talks about why sound was so important to this man, and being in nature was important. He has ADHD, and he talks about how the medication never worked, and the only thing that really worked for him is immersing himself, like listening to the sounds of nature. That was more helpful than any medication for ADHD. And yeah, he just said that he has just some beautiful quotes in there. He said that it's it's changing Earth's natural acoustic fabric. And he drew an analogy between the natural world and a concert hall. And if the heat and moisture of the concert hall changed, so too would the player's ability to perform.
Yeah, definitely.
And that is what's happening. And so
that's why Aretha Franklin, she wouldn't let them put the AC on. People would be sweating their balls off.
Oh.
When she would play in a concert hall, because she would claim that it affected the quality of her vocal performance.
I get that. It does kind of feel like you could sing better in the heat than you could in cold.
Yeah.
Huh.
For sure. But like, what a bummer, man.
Yeah, it's really... Oh, so that's sad, but I did read another article in The Guardian that said that the national parks were just gifted by the Lilly Foundation $100 million donation and grant or whatever not grant, I guess, donation that is being dispersed to the national parks. So it's the most money that they've ever gotten in like one lump sum. So that is maybe good.
What do you
I don't know.
What do you know is the like what is ADHD really?
What is it?
Yeah, like what the hell is going on in
like
your
serotonin
brains?
and dopamine regulation problems.
Oh.
And dysregulation in the prefrontal cortex, in which is affected by all of that, like serotonin and dopamine.
Why does it affect what Lincoln and Adam always talk about? Executive function. That organization part
that's
of the brain.
front.
Why?
That's that prefrontal cortex.
So
that puts
what's
things
the problem in
order.
there?
I would say it's like an imbalance in, I can't remember if it's like a reuptake inhibitor. There's all this thing of like whether the channels to let the hormones in are closed or open, and I can't remember which it is. But it's like the mechanisms that are supposed to suck up the hormones of like serotonin or dopamine that say, yes, you're doing a good job and provide you the feeling of like satisfaction, are like locked and closed and don't allow anything to get in there. So there's this feeling of like chasing the wind or like needing to, that's why you can get like like stuck in these like cycles, and they do all these just weird behaviors, and executive functioning like just shuts down when.
And what do you think causes it? Like just you're born that way?
It's hard to know. I think that I know that genetics play a big role.
Yeah.
Because I see it in my own family. And we have 2 parents who have ADHD. And my dad was diagnosed and my mom was never diagnosed. But anybody who's met my mom would be like...
Well, she's just like you, Sarah.
Right.
You guys are 2 peas.
And now as an adult, she's been diagnosed. But so now everybody... And when you have 2 parents that have ADHD, you're like...
I'm surprised they were drawn to each other. Because usually like there needs to be like the counter.
Yeah.
With like me and Adam.
But I felt like it was more that they were permissive with each other, like allowed that behavior.
Totally.
And they do say that sometimes like 2 neuroatypical people together.
Have you ever been with a neurodivergent person?
No.
Maybe that
only someone with like
thing.
Dyslexia. That's it. But I don't think that is as effective like in your adult.
No, because for you, that's not the ticket.
No.
Like you are the most ADHD person I've ever known in all of my days.
Yeah. Sometimes
and that's why you're so talented.
Sometimes I'm like, wow, Sarah.
Well, no, like I don't want you to think I'm using it as a criticism. I think it's a superpower.
Yeah, no, I totally know it is in many ways, but I definitely have to find a few workarounds for, just
I'm sure it is.
I laugh because I posted that video the other day of me finding my coffee mug in the... I also found it the next day and the next day and this morning. And I was like, I can't make a video every day because nobody will fucking believe me that they're going to think I staged this.
This is how I feel about my baths. Like if I told people how many baths I took, it would seem like there's no way. No, there is.
There is. Oh, but people are
Yes,
weird,
we are
so
weird.
yeah, I have ADHD. It's fine.
Well, you did good today. You stayed right on track.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I
You
took my
wanna-
meds.
Are you are you okay wrapping it up? I don't want to cut you off.
I'm good. That was that. I ended it. Well, I didn't end it on a happy note, but maybe a little bit happier.
Well, oh yeah, that was sad. But I mean,
No, I ended it with $100 million donation to national parks.
yeah, that's good. That's good. We need that.
Yeah.
Good job.
But yeah, I'm happy. I'm satisfied.
We learned so much, like inner tube, not intertube.
Not intertube.
Not.
But I do
what if it was
believe that
interstellar?
there is a brand of air mattress that's called Inter Mattress or Inter Air or something, which made me think that it was intertube.
Like
But
they're
it's intertube. And there's 2 words.
inner tube, and I don't know. Women in leadership get a raw deal.
Yeah,
I know
a real
that.
raw deal. And if you're somebody who's going to be complaining about your boss, just ask yourself, is this an actionable item? If my boss is a female
Yeah,
and
how can I improve
complaining
specifically?
about her personality or demeanor, or is this an actual work-related complaint?
Yeah,
That's all. Because
Yeah,
I'm sure
that's
women
all.
are guilty of it as well.
I don't think. And we got some tattoo advice
Yes, we did.
and an ADHD explainer.
Yeah, but like, I don't even know if that's right about like, that is so, I should have Googled that. I don't know what it
No,
is.
you
I can
did
tell you how
well.
to treat it, but I couldn't tell you those underlying mechanisms. That's about all I know. I didn't do much. I
No,
helped
it was
0.
helpful because it is fascinating to me the way your brains work, all you people.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. As always, thanks for using our codes. If you want to like support our show, you can go to thebraincandypodcast.com and check out those candy codes. Find one of our sponsors that you love, or join our patreon.com/braincandy for all our challenge content.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.